welcome back to another episode of
Talking Spree.
I'm Kathy.
And I'm Toyin.
Hi Toyin, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How
Awesome.
Yourself?
I am well, I am blessed. Thank God.
Good to see you again.
Yes, Mama. So our topic today is gonna be about children working and driving at an well, I would say an early age, because in America it's normal, but in Jamaica and in Nigeria it's not a norm, right?
It's not enough. And I have issues with that. I have issues with children. In America, children drives at the age of 16. Okay, I have it here that in some states, they even start as early as 14. Some states, they get their permits in like 15.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
Well, in New Jersey, of course, they get it at 16 because my daughter's been bothering me. She wanted to get her permits. Now, my issue is the government or whoever is in charge of this thing said, okay, this is the rule. This is the, policy and procedure that these children, they can learn how to drive. They can do their test at school, in high school, and then get a driver's license. Then why do they have to kill us with insurance? We the parents, why do we have to suffer for that?
We choose to buy them a car. We choose to make them drive because we don't have the time to take them around.
That's what my children keep telling me. You don't have time to take me here, you don't have time to take me there, and now I want to drive. You're telling me that I can't drive. I'm not saying you can't drive, just wait. I feel like they're not matured enough.
Why do you feel they're not matured enough?
They're still children.
What does that have to do with anything? You have children you have 17-year-olds that are more mature than a 23-year-old.
Okay,
So
now
what are
let
you
me
talking
say,
about?
knowing my kids, if I know that, okay, you're capable, you can drive at the age of 16, let me make that decision. Now, because they already pushed them into it at school, now they become so anxious about it. They become
okay, but
so.
you're saying, let it be your decision.
Yes, let it be my decision.
Okay, so what makes you think that they're not matured at 16? You're just saying they're not mature because you're saying they're not mature because you're the parent.
Maybe
and
because
you
of their
feel
age.
Like, age has nothing to do with maturity, Toyin. Age has nothing to do. At 16, they have a job.
Why?
What do you mean, why? So they can be more responsible? It's good to learn from a young age to be responsible. They could pay for their own clothes. They could pay for their own gas. They could pay for their own cell phone bill. It teaches them responsibility at a young age, so when they get older, they're already used to all that responsibility. It's not like, oh, they turn 23, all of a sudden they're on their own, they're out there like, oh, I have to pay rent. How do I do this? How do I do that? They already have the knowledge prior to being out on their own. So I don't see anything wrong with them being responsible at 16 and having 15 and having a job.
You got me on that, because when I went on the internet and then I was finding out what is the reason behind these children having to work at the age of 16.
Right.
And then if you remember, some of the young adults that we met with had 2 jobs.
Okay. And what do you
in their college.
Okay, and do you see something wrong with that?
Well, they have too much responsibility at that age. That's
What is
my
too
own
much
opinion.
responsibility?
Too much responsibility is at the age of 16, they got a driver's license, they can drive, and they're working, and they're still schooling. Don't you think that's too much for their brain?
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's multitasking. Nothing is wrong with that. What is wrong with that?
You call that multitasking?
Of course. At a young age, that shows you that when they get to 23, do you know what they could accumulate in their lives? Because they started early. If you started early, at 16, started to work, started your career and everything, at this age, you'll probably be a millionaire already. You could retire anytime soon. You have women who are 21 and are already medical doctors. They started early in life. There's nothing wrong with that.
Depending on the country,
Don't you want to enjoy your wealth when you're young enough to enjoy it instead of when you're 80 years old, you're just starting to travel the world. What fun is that?
Well, you're talking about accumulation. Do they, in America, do they even let them accumulate this money?
Why not?
The taxes takes it?
Everywhere you have to pay taxes.
No.
That's why we're enjoying America. We have nice roads.
Okay.
We have great resources.
Keep counting.
Exactly.
Ooh.
So we could go on and on and on and on. Who pays for that? Taxes.
I know it's taxes, but I just feel.
You keep going with your feelings. Take your feelings out of it. You're too much into.
I have 16-year-old. I have 16-year-old daughter.
20 years old.
And I'm looking. I'm looking at her like, you want to drive. Don't you think it's gonna be too much? What? She wants a job. She wants to drive, and she had to go to school. And then she had to come home and do homework.
So what's wrong with that?
You know,
aren't you? You just you were going to school. Weren't you going to school? You had what, 3 jobs? Right?
I'm in my 40s.
Okay, exactly my point. If you had started that when you were 17, 18, you wouldn't have to be doing it now.
I would have been out of school.
You wouldn't have to be doing it now. Exactly.
When I went for my graduation, this guy had 2 PhD.
Exactly.
And he's 35 years old.
Thank you. So
I'm like,
how do you think he did that?
I wish I could have started earlier. But not at the age of 16 though.
There we go.
Not at the age of 16.
You're not gonna get a PhD at the age of 16.
No.
You're not gonna start college. But it's a starting. It's a stepping stone. It's a foundation. It's getting used to it. It's like your body is getting used to, you know what, this is what life is about. You know, this is how you start by getting a job. And I'm not a husband, but by getting a job, being responsible, being able to take care of yourself. So if God forbid something happens, you know, you don't have to worry about them, because they can pay their bills, they can take care of themselves, they can take care of the younger ones. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think it's perfect. If we had that in different countries, kids would be, trust me, better. Way better than they are right now. More responsible. Okay,
are you saying that in Jamaica they don't start that early?
No.
They don't start working that early?
No, we don't have the resources. No. Some people might. Depends on the job. See, America make it so easy for you. Like the jobs, they have times where, okay, you have like shifts, you know, so they give you that time. They allow you to go to school, you know, to further your education. So they allow you to get things done. Back home, it's totally different. You understand what I'm saying? It's either you just go to school or you work. It's either.
Either, yes.
Exactly. So I think that if we had those resources, we would be a better nation.
In Nigeria, people are still in school in their 20s and their parents are still responsible for them.
Exactly my point.
You know, they have to pay for school fees.
There's a lot of kids that they can pay their own school fees. They work and they send themselves to school and they pay rent. See,
that's another issue too. This is why I said we put so much responsibility on them. Let's talk about school loan.
Put responsibilities on them.
America
puts so much. No, it's not America.
Yeah, but
you don't have to work at 16 if you don't want to work at 16. So America has nothing to do with it.
If they don't start to work, then the parents feel like they're not responsible enough. Because I was telling my daughter the other day, I said...
But on the other hand, you don't want your daughter to work at 16. That's the whole point. And then if she is at 23 and doesn't have a job, then you say she's lazy. Because she's not used to working. And getting to 23 and to start a job, it's like she's like, oh God, no, I have to do this. Which if you had allowed her to see what it's like, to test the waters, like you have to let them go. They're gonna grow up, whether you want them to grow up or not. Let them be responsible. Let them take up the challenge. There's nothing wrong with a challenge.
Guess by the time they're 16,
come out to your feelings.
Your mindsets start to think, especially when they're asking you for stuff. Like the other day, my daughter said, "Mommy, can I buy Apple something?"
AirPods.
Exactly.
If she had a job, she wouldn't have to ask you for AirPods. Because you're not going to spend $159 to buy an AirPod, right?
Guess what? She gave me the money. She actually gave me the money from what she made on her birthday.
Exactly.
And then I told her, I said, I collected the money from her. I said I'm gonna order it, and then I went online. I'm like, $160. Are you kidding me?
It's her money.
And then I went back home and I told her, I said, even the people who gave you this money will not expect you to spend it on AirPods. I said, go get a job.
So you're contradicting yourself. Toy, I can't talk to you anymore.
No. I'm not contradicting myself.
Yes, because you think she's too young to work at 16. But then you're telling her to go get a job because the people who gave her the money don't expect her. It's a gift. They don't care what you spend it on. It's a gift. So if she had a job, say she didn't get it for a gift, and she had a job, she could go purchase her AirPods. She could drive to Best Buy and go purchase her AirPods without even bothering you.
She better not bring it home.
Why not?
$160 AirPods?
So what?
For
it's
what?
her money.
That she's just gonna use to hear stuff. No, go to Five Below.
No, and it breaks. In 1 week it breaks. And
Yeah.
she goes back to Five and Below. In another 3 weeks it breaks. That's $10, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes back again. In 1 month she's been to Five and Below 5 times. Okay?
Are we doing
5, 10,
calculation?
15, 20. That's $25.
Are we doing calculation
Wait,
now?
yes, that's $25 in 1 month, right? The next month that's another $25. That's $50. That's 2 months. Right? You want me to go on, or you got the picture?
I got the picture.
So how many times she bought a cheap ear whatever headphones, right? And she bought one for $159. That AirPod is gonna last her more than a year. Mine just broke, and I took it to Apple, and they gave me a brand new one.
Wow.
Because it's under warranty. No, you see what I'm saying? So instead of, like my grandmother always told me, it's better to buy or to get something valuable than get something cheap, because you're paying 10 times what you could have purchased once.
That makes sense. Maybe I'm gonna have a second thought about that, but I'm not saying that she's gonna get a AirPods for $160.
But they
That
have the
saves us-
headphones in. You're not gonna hear anything.
That saves us $160 for AirPods.
What is $160?
Money?
You know what? Coming from a person who buys canola oil for Christmas gifts, I
See?
don't expect any better from you.
Yes, see?
So talking to you is like right now is pointless. But
So, anyway, this responsibility that I'm talking about, do you know that the rate of suicide in college students is a lot? Like I said, it's a lot of responsibility.
No.
By the time they get out of school, do you know how much they
I
must have
disagree.
incurred in student loan?
are we talking about student loan, or are we talking about suicide?
Everything
are you trying
goes
to say
into-
that student loan causes people to commit suicide?
I'm not saying student loan alone.
Okay, let's
I'm just
talk about
talking about
suicide.
all of
The reason.
all the responsibility that they tend to put on themselves. Should I
Right.
say themselves? Because now you said they choose to work. They
Yes.
choose to. Okay,
Okay.
now all of this
Because they want to
responsibility,
become somebody in life.
all of this responsibility put on them is like one day they're gonna think about it. I have to pay for my car insurance. I have to pay for my car. I have to pay for my student loan.
Right.
I have to pay for this, for that. Rent
At
at
least
the age
they
of
know-
18.
At least they know that they have to pay for it, and it's not a problem to them because they started early.
Can they
Just
handle
going
it?
out at 18 and being bombarded with all those bills,
Uh-huh.
or going out at 20 years old and being bombarded with all those bills, that's gonna drive them crazy because they're not used to working. They're not used to it. They don't know what responsibility is. But starting at an early age, it prompts them. It guides
So are you
them.
saying now that when we critically look at those university, college students
Right.
who are committing suicide, they must have been those ones that did not start early.
No, it has nothing to do with jobs. That's a total different story. Suicide can be anything. It can be mental illness. It can be they have an issue. It could be they don't have a job and all that schoolwork, or maybe emotional problems family wise. It could be anything. It could be other kids, you know what I mean, bullying them. Bullying is very, it's like somebody talks about you, somebody calls you names, you're gay, things like that can cause you to commit suicide. That's bullying. So a lot of times that tend to be the cause of a lot of, you know, kids committing suicide. It could be anything. It could be they're in a relationship, they got hurt or heartbroken, that can cause them to commit suicide. They don't have anybody to talk to. You understand what I'm saying? So that could be the issue. It has nothing to do with jobs. Nobody commits suicide because they don't have a job.
I'm not saying because they don't have a job. I'm saying I'm putting all the responsibility together now.
Yeah, but you're saying that it's the responsibilities why they commit suicide. Remember, what are we talking about?
Because of
Suicide or
all,
responsibility? No.
because of all the responsibility that they have to take care of at their young age. Bills.
Okay, what if their parents don't have it? What if their parents cannot afford to send them to college? But they want to go to college because they want to have a career, they want to have a better education. So what are they going to just sit around and have an excuse that, oh, my parents can't afford to send me to college, so I'm not going to go to college? Or get up off your butts and go to college. Go get a job, do something, and send yourself to college if they want a better life. What do you think?
I guess you're right. You educated me.
I'm not educated. I'm just sharing my 2 cents with you, that's all. You're the one with the masters,
All right,
honey.
and then
And you send yourself to school, right? You
Yes.
made your way through school. Exactly. You go get your master's.
Or
See,
maybe
I'm coming behind you. I'm
You
right
might be
behind
right.
you, sweetheart.
you're welcome.
I'm not there yet.
You might be right, because maybe if I started earlier, I would have been out of college. Maybe I would have had like PhD, but I wasn't a smart kid.
You are a smart kid. You keep telling yourself you wasn't a smart kid.
When I
you
was-
may not be
when
book
I was
smart.
a child.
Not everybody's book smart.
I wasn't book smart.
Exactly. Not everybody. That's why I say like not everybody is cut out to be a doctor. Like one of the young adults, she said she liked the arts, like digital, you know, things like that. She likes to use her hands. Doesn't mean that you're not gonna become someone successful. You know what I mean? Not
She can use her hands to do surgery.
Exactly.
She can use her hands to do surgery.
To do what kind of surgery? She
All
can't
right.
take all that information.
Hurts.
But she can't take all that information. But she could do illustrations. She could do other things that could make a lot of money. She could become an architect. You know how much money an architect makes?
Yeah,
Okay.
they make a lot of money.
Exactly.
All right, that brings us to the end of the
Today's topic.
This is Tony.
And I'm Kathy. Please do not forget to comment, subscribe. We like to hear your views. So share your views with us and let us know what you think. Until next time.